Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS. Let's run the numbers. In the past trading session, in the main markets, all sectors were down. Communication services and consumer discretionary were the worst hit. Although the next FOMC meeting is 44 days away, we can see that the probability of a 50 basis point increase in the federal funds rate has increased from 25% to 37%. Looking towards markets globally, we can see the Chinese market sold off, the US market as well, Canadian as well. Finland was doing quite well, India did well, and Brazil also did well. We have very light economic data being reported this week, but it's still quite important. In news globally, Twitter users vote for Elon Musk to step down as CEO in response to his poll. Police guard Beijing crematorium as COVID deaths are questioned. Eric Feigelding says things in China are thermonuclear bad. Hospitals are completely overwhelmed in China ever since the restrictions have been dropped. Epidemiologists estimate that more than 60% of China's population, or 10% of the Earth's population, is likely to be infected over the next 90 days. Deaths are likely to be in the millions, plural. This is just the start. It's estimated that 800 million people could become infected with C19 over the next few months. And this is the fastest spread of COVID yet in China. And when we look at the new weekly cases, 3.6 million in the last week. In the last 7 days, the maximum number, or the most number, of C19 cases have been in Japan, followed by South Korea, France, Brazil, USA, Germany, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Italy, and Australia. A lot of people would question, why are China's statistics not up here? They never have been. Back in late 2019, I collaborated with Eric. It was very well known there by statistical analysts that China's numbers were wildly incorrect and underreported. Nothing has changed. China's health prospects impact the world. We saw the Chinese market recently rally on news that it was potentially reopening. Then we saw a lot of shutdowns, especially in Foxconn's plants, and they are the manufacturers of the Apple iPhones. And this has led to worldwide shortages of their top-tier selling models. As China is the factory, if the factory closes down, that's going to hurt all companies' earnings across the board. All markets are interdependent and intercorrelated. From Reuters, China reports its first COVID death in weeks as official count is questioned. It's always been questioned. And stocks fall as investors weigh recession risks. Binance again finds itself in the headlines, but not for a good reason. Special report from Reuters. Binance book are a black box. Filings show as it tries to rally confidence. One thing to note, Binance is a private company. Private companies do not have to show their books, but public companies do. Boris Johnson's brother steps down as Binance advisor amid concerns over the exchange. Joe Johnson, the brother of the former UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, had been advising Binance during the exchange's efforts to expand into the UK. He reportedly took up a role on the UK advisory board of one of Binance's subsidiaries, Bitfinity, in September. Binance acquires 100% of Indonesian Toko Crypto after initial investment in 2020. This is the third licensed Asian cryptocurrency exchange Binance has bought this year. Sam Bankman, not freed, wants to see indictment before extradition to the US. The former FTX CEO just doesn't like the Bahamas jails. He wants to be locked up in the US. One important thing to remember, when price action in markets is red, all the news headlines are red, all the price predictions are red as well. And when prices go green in the markets, the exact opposite occurs. So we can't be swayed by current market conditions. We have to look more deeply into the structure. And that's why we use the CTKS method. It's the standards-based process to reveal smart money buy and sell levels from any price chart. We can see that as we look into the S&P 500, the S&P 500 has entered into a smart money buy zone ranging between 37.66 and 38.27. The S&P 500 is currently 38.06. If it comes down here and actually finds buying support in this particular zone, that will mean that the smart money is accumulating and potentially going to push the indice up. That will catch a lot of people off guard. There's a rule from inside the masterclass that the news headlines just reflect current investor sentiment. So if investors are seeing red in the market, the news headlines are red. If things go green, everything goes green in the headlines as well. Please don't be sucked in by headlines. Just look at the market structure. When looking at the S&P 500 futures, we can see they're currently 38.33. They're just below a smart money buy level at 38.40. That means this is turning into resistance. It's not turned into resistance yet because price is very close to it. But if it gets away from it, yes, it will turn into resistance like what we saw here in this particular candle. One of the biggest problems, there's not a lot of support underneath these current levels. The next minor support is at 38.01 and 37.88. But we always do three-dimensional thinking. Just because the news headlines are red and the price action is red today doesn't mean it's going to be red tomorrow. It could very well be green. And that is why we use our daily three-dimensional risk management code called the CTKS code. We look at the market as it stands today. The market today is down. As such, many people would just naturally expect the market tomorrow would also be down. This is called the fishbowl concept. The concept of this particular CTKS code is to understand and ask the questions, what will the market be doing in the next 24 hours? The market rewards your active learning, your knowledge, and your courage. The next part of this code is to do with your portfolio. If the market does in fact go down, what percentage of your portfolio will go down, stay neutral, or will go up? And this is always about trying to understand the composition of the things that you buy. And the last part is the synchronization factor. How in sync with the market are you? Do you have the Midas touch, or do you have the Medusa touch, or something in between? And to explain this particular CTKS code you see here, you can just read this information. It's just a shortcut way of understanding what's going on with that code. And we do this code each and every day. It helps us to stay connected to the market. If you get disconnected, desynchronized, your money will disappear. Money is always flowing from the desynchronized to the synchronized. That's why it's so critical to do your daily three-dimensional risk management code. We must look at as many charts as possible to stack probabilities to understand where the markets are heading and the impact of that heading on our portfolio. If we look at the main markets, we can see the VIX has been coming down. It's currently 22.47, and this is the fear gauge of the main market. But when we look at the major indice, the Nasdaq, that's been coming down relatively hard. Bond prices are looking relatively overextended, and we would expect a wave down because price is always moving in a wave. We can see yields starting to come back up. The price of gold is starting to flatten out, just like the bond price. And when we look at the US dollar currency index, we can see that's decreasing at a decreasing rate, which actually may tell us that things are going to turn around in the dollar. When looking at junk bonds, we can see a lot of risk-on behavior has currently left the building. What is actually happening with the DXY? We can see that the DXY sold down to a smart money buy level at 103.268, and it's held that particularly well. It's been retesting these smart money buy levels as it makes its way higher. It's currently 104.720. The next level of resistance is 105.357, and a much more major level of smart money sell resistance is at 106.998. And many thanks to Andre for your very kind comment. Thank you, Ken, for the daily video and for the CTKS Creed update. I know the power of the CTKS version 1, and now with LV26, I can see how much work is required for CTKS version 2. I have registered for the CTKS Method service in order to have a more accurate view on the markets, but I will keep drawing my own charts with the CTKS Method on a weekly basis. If you would like to get these charts drawn up for you to see the key levels, please hop across to the ctksmethod.org website. Just scroll down on the page and here's the CTKS Method service. You have a little bit of a video here, and if you just enter your details, your name and your email, you can lock in a lifetime discount. This service will become very, very expensive over time, and you'll be locking in the institutional grade level of the service, not the lowest level, the highest level. And so long as you keep your membership active at that US $39 per month, the price will never ever increase. Sorry, Jerome Powell. But please note, this is a strictly limited time discount, and no payments are due until the service is active. And there's no requirement to take up the service even when it is active. It's always your choice. When we look at total crypto market capitalization, it's easy to make assessments based on this chart, but we need to understand the 50 charts that go into influencing this chart. The reason I took you through the main market, all the main market charts impact this chart. Currently, total crypto market capitalization is $759.3 billion. We can see that we're under smart money sell levels now at $808 billion and $799 billion. And where is the next support if we don't actually come back and see these higher prices? It's down at the $707.8 billion. That's why it's really critical for prices to turn around in the crypto market right now. But what chart impacts this chart the most? I'll show you. Bitcoin's directional price movement influences total crypto market capitalization the most out of everything. Yesterday, we were talking about the max pain levels, and we saw from price at that time that max pain was down at the 16,500 mark, so we were anticipating the price would make a downward play, and then 17,500 for later on during the week. Throughout the past couple of years, we've done a lot of analysis on max pain levels, and max pain interacts with the market. It doesn't necessarily pull the market, it does sometimes, but price changes will always impact max pain levels. And what we're actually seeing now is max pain has jumped up from that 16,500 to 16,750. It's expected to stay at that price tomorrow and then make its way up to 17,000 later on in the week. It's dropped $500. That means that the options market is expecting price action just like what I've drawn in that line there. I'm always looking for new things and new ways to explain really complex subject matter very easily. I think these lines really help people. Please let me know in the comments, are they helpful to you? We also need to check out liquidations, and we can see a lot of longs have been liquidated recently, and the shorts are just starting to kick in. But let's check out liquidations and see what's happening. And before we do that, we need to understand, relatively speaking, how the longs and the shorts are interacting with each other. You can see that the shorts are coming out. The Bitcoin shorts are coming out of the market. The longs are coming in. This is really interesting. The longs are getting more and more optimistic. But let's check out those liquidation values. 37.52 million in total liquidations across the past 24 hours. It's really quite light. And when we look at 18,942 positions liquidated, that's pretty light as well. We can see for the past 24 hours, indeed, the long liquidations were the dominant ones, around 79%. Past 12 hours, about 88%. Past 4 hours, about 94%. And the past hour, whoa, there we go, 77% short. It's gone the other way. We can see the majority of longs were liquidated and the shorts are just starting to get liquidated. The longs and shorts play this game all the time. They're always liquidating each other. There are always opportunities inside the crypto market. The greatest gainers in the past 24 hours: XDC, Immutable X, Rune, Axie Infinity, Monero, BSV, and Gate Token. The greatest losers over the past 24 hours: Trust Wallet, USDN, Filecoin, Ton, Doge, Chiliz, and Chain. Let's look at the top movers in the crypto market. We can see over this period of time, Bitcoin has come down 0.32%. That's not much. Ethereum 0.36%. USDT Tether to USD. You can see it's not really stable. It's not a flat line. Everybody thinks for some reason, I don't know why, that it's always $1. It is not $1, and it's never been. Tether is amongst the most stable coins, and when you look at USDC, you can see it fluctuating around here. This is not depegging, this is just normal crypto action. The world's largest exchange, Binance, is definitely in the crosshairs at the moment, so it's better to be safe rather than sorry. And this is all thanks to the collapse of FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried roll. It's important to understand that SBF conducted criminal operations and potentially swindled US $8 billion in customer money, according to federal prosecutors, who are pursuing criminal charges. This is a human failure, not a crypto failure. But we still must be careful. We must. After Celsius and so many others have gone belly up, we need to make sure that we don't get caught on the wrong side of a fall in one of these giants. Tron has been doing quite well, just flattening out at the moment. SHIB has taken a bit of a nosedive recently, and we can see SHIB actually overextended Bitcoin's upward momentum, has been following it directionally. But with Doge coming down, SHIB is also going to get hit, as well as the other memes. Litecoin was very strong recently, but we can see it's amongst the greatest percent decliners in the top cryptos, down nearly 18%, and Solana down about 9.36%. It's very important that Bitcoin actually comes up and obeys those max pain levels unless they change again, and they could very well do so. When looking at Ethereum, we can see the current price, $11.78. We're below two smart money resistance levels or sell levels at $11.98.94 and $11.95.68. We're above a smart money buy level at $11.29.68. And many thanks to Planet Pro. CTKS Method version 2 is a game changer. I know exactly where to buy and sell. Guessing is out the window. I have way more confidence and now need to focus on getting in sync with the market. Highly recommend the CTKS Method version 2. The CTKS Method version 2 is available from ctksmethod.org if you're not inside the masterclass. And you can go to level 1 certification just from that homepage. Just click here, this little button, and it will take you to a very special deal, a Christmas deal where you can invest in yourself to gain confidence and understand how to form structural lines inside any price chart, and we're looking at the SPY. And when you come down, after you complete this, you get your own certificate. Fantastic. If you want to know what smart money knows, if you want to gain confidence as to where the buy and sell levels are, you cannot go past CTKS Method Standards Certification. It's a skill that lasts a lifetime, and it's not expensive to acquire, but not knowing it is very expensive. Let's have a look at XRP. I'm just going to zoom in to this particular area. XRP is currently trading at 34.08. It's below a smart money sell level at 34.38 and above a smart money buy level at 32.93. These particular levels, called Stanfield levels, are where smart money buys and sells. They are formed in accordance with CTKS Method Standards Certification and rely on a thing called ODMS, objective, dynamic market structure. It has nothing to do with recent price action. These charts are drawn up from the start of price history. The more charts that you look at, the more synchronized you will become with the market and the more financial success you will have. As a community, we focus on positive excellence, which enables us to have sustainable fulfillment, meaning, happiness, and success in life. A lot of people think that money will give you happiness. It certainly gives you comfort, but it will not give you happiness. That's something that you have to give to yourself. Positive excellence is all about leaving zone 1, the panic zone, where entitlement reigns, and also leaving zone 2, the blame zone, where conflict and jealousy reign. Zone 1 and Zone 2 are basically like living inside a barbed wire cage. Zone 3 and Zone 4 are just releasing yourself from that cage, and all investors and traders go through this. But positive excellence is something reserved for the elite 5%. It's said that 95% of traders and investors lose money or get wiped out. The concept is focusing on money is not the right direction. Focusing on doing it correctly must be the right direction. That's the only thing that will take you into success sustainably. You could get lucky, but luck just doesn't last, but skill does. You really wouldn't want to meet a lucky surgeon. You would want to meet a skillful one if you're going in for an operation. Inner peace and outer peace are incredibly important concepts. I thought today we could talk about outer peace inside the comments on YouTube. The concept is outer peace actually a profitable thing to do when it comes to trading and investing, and why? And what about in life? Is it a good thing to do, or maybe not? Let's have a discussion about it. Another thing that could be good is to talk about the path to outer peace. How do you get there? And why would you want to get there as well? What are the benefits of it? Part of the CTKS method is the CTKS Creed, which primes our mind for profitability and happiness in life. These are a series of positive affirmation statements you just say to yourself. They're important because they get rid of fear and install courage. Acting on fear creates the fear. We don't want to do that. We need to act with courage, but also knowledge. Here is the creed. I know the universe wants me to succeed. Every day I show kindness, integrity, and gratitude. I know opportunities in life reset daily. I am worthy. I go slow to go fast. I start small and scale with BORSOG. Life pullbacks give me the strength for the next life rally. I am dedicated and committed. I win or learn and never blame. And I never let a problem beat me because I solve it with positive excellence. If you have family or friends who could benefit from positive excellence and what we do here each and every day, please introduce them to our community by sharing a video. We'd love to see them here. We have one of the best communities on YouTube. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care and see you tomorrow. Bye for now.